Here we have a Grex TG airbrush. I'll show you how to take it apart. To clean it, color bowl comes off by unscrewing it. Back handle comes off by unscrewing it. You can store your extra tips on the back of the back handle. To clean it, normally you wouldn't have to take it all the way down this far, but the back needle stop unscrews. Needle stop is to adjust the travel of the needle, how far you can pull the trigger back and forth. The further you screw it in, the less you can pull the trigger back, the less paint you're going to get. Needle comes out just by unscrewing it. Be careful doing this, because if you have a lot of paint and stuff on your needle, what you're going to do is you're going to pull all that back through the brush when you pull the needle out. So if you've been airbrushing for a while, you may want to take the cap off and pull the needle out the front. Air cap just snaps off, snaps right back on. Head cap just turns off, unscrews. To get the needle out, or the nozzle off, use the wrench that Grex provides you. The nozzle you just unscrew with a nut with the wrench that's provided by Grex. Get your fluid nozzle off. Or if you wanted to replace it, this is how you would replace it too. Make sure you put these all in a bowl or something so you don't lose them. The trigger will come off. I'm not going to take it off right now, but the trigger comes off just by this little screw. Normally, again, when you're cleaning your airbrush, you shouldn't have to be pulling the trigger off, unless you really neglected it. The whole back of the airbrush comes off, so you can clean the spring assembly just by unscrewing it. Take the needle chuck off. Thoroughly clean it all. To put it back together again, it's just the opposite. Put your spring on. Insert it into the airbrush with a little groove down to the bottom of the airbrush. Screw it on hand tight. Don't use a wrench or anything. You're liable to strip it. Put the chucking nut on loosely. Fluid nozzle, start by hand. It's fairly big, so it's pretty easy to get on there. And once you've got it started, and make sure it's not cross-threaded, use the wrench to tighten it, but don't over-tighten it, because you may snap it off, and then you'd have to buy a whole new fluid nozzle. Head cap just screws on, again hand tight is fine. The crown cap, or the other cap you're going to use. The needle, I always just put a little super lube on it and just wipe it down. Carefully insert it back into the TG3. The TG3 has a 0.3 millimeter needle. Put it in until you feel it resting in the tip of the airbrush. Tighten the chucking nut. So when you pull the trigger back, you can see the needle moving. Put your handle back on. Put your handle back on, it just screws on. That's how you take your TG Grex apart. This is Don at Airbrush Technique Magazine. Till next time, thanks.